Have you ever tried propagating an Aloe vera Barbadensis leaf, only to watch it shrivel up and die before it could grow a single pup? In this video, I'm going to show you a different method for getting healthy pups every time. Welcome to the channel. In my previous video, I showed you one method for propagating Aloe vera Barbadensis leaves using a simple plastic soda container. This technique created a unique little environment for the leaves. I chose the bottle method specifically for the Barbadensis variety because its leaves often take longer, sometimes several weeks, to produce pups compared to Aloe vera chinensis. That extra waiting time can be a real challenge. The sensitive stem tissue on the leaf has plenty of opportunity to dry out and fail. Once it dries out completely, there's no chance of recovery. That's where the soda bottle comes in. It acts like a mini greenhouse. By trapping humidity inside, it slows down the drying process, giving the leaves a much better chance of forming roots and eventually producing pups. Now this time around, I want to show you a different method, one I already use for propagating Aloe vera chinensis leaves. It's much simpler, planting the cut leaves directly into the soil immediately after cutting them from the mother plant. The secret here is moisture. The soil has to be moist enough to protect the sensitive stem tissue, but not so wet that it causes rot. Consistency is key. Aloe vera leaves can be very forgiving with temperature and light, but when it comes to leaf propagation, moisture is the deciding factor between success and failure. Let's talk about the most critical step, the cut itself. This is something many beginners get wrong. As I always mention in all my leaf propagation videos, the cut leaf must carry a small piece of stem tissue with it. If you simply snap off a leaf, or if the cut is too clean and doesn't include any stem, it will never propagate. Why? Because all the regenerative cells that form roots and pups are located in that stem base. Without it, the leaf is just a piece of aloe. It can stay fresh for a while or even longer, but it won't ever become a plant. If you'd like a more detailed demonstration of how to make this cut properly, I have a separate tutorial right here on the channel. For this experiment, I prepared a soil mix of ordinary garden soil combined with rich compost I made myself. Compost is very helpful because it holds onto moisture without letting the soil get soggy. If the soil becomes waterlogged, the leaf will rot before it has a chance to root. On the other hand, if the soil dries out too quickly, the leaf will dehydrate and shrivel. Compost creates that balance. The soil may look a little dry in the video, but I did sprinkle some water on it off camera to make sure it was moist enough for the new leaves. Now, after about 2 weeks, I noticed a promising sign. One of the leaves had produced a small, healthy pup. The other leaf, however, seemed to be doing nothing. When I carefully checked it, I found that the leaf still felt firm, and the stem tissue was intact. It hadn't rotted. That was a good sign, so I placed it back in the pot and waited longer. Another week passed. The first pup had grown noticeably larger, while the second leaf still hadn't produced a pup. Instead, something interesting happened. It had started to grow a root. That was very exciting because it showed that the propagation process was working, just in a different order. Some leaves form pups first, while others establish roots before sending out a pup. But based on my experience with the chinensis variety, when the root comes out first, it will take much longer for the pup to follow. However, because I had uprooted it to check, I was a little worried. Roots are very sensitive at this stage. To give it the best chance, I covered both leaves with a thin layer of soil. Aloe vera's root system is quite unique, and I'll be sharing more about that in a separate video soon. Fast forward more than 2 weeks. The pup on the first leaf had grown a lot bigger. I also had to place a small stick next to the leaf to support it, as it was bending heavily towards the pup. This happened because I had neglected the pot for a while. The soil had gone completely dry, and the plant was exposed to intense afternoon sun. The leaf became dehydrated, which weakened it and caused it to bend. It just goes to show you how important it is to keep consistent soil moisture when propagating a leaf. As for the second leaf, the one I uprooted, it didn't survive. The part where the pup was supposed to form had withered away completely. It was disappointing, but it's also part of the process. Propagation is never 100% guaranteed, and sometimes curiosity, like checking the roots too early, can interrupt success. Now, another important topic I want to address is something I hear a lot from my viewers. I've received comments saying that this propagation method is counterproductive. They thought that for me to get a leaf for propagation, I had to kill the whole plant by cutting it. But this isn't true at all. After I remove the leaves for propagation, I plant the remaining part, just like planting aloe vera from a cutting. It will eventually grow roots from that cut stem and can then be repotted into a normal-sized pot. Here are some of those cuttings that have grown new roots and are now ready to be repotted. The root part of the plant doesn't simply die after being cut. It will also produce new pups from the remaining stem. So, as you can see, you're not only propagating the leaves, but you're also propagating the main root section, which is still able to produce new plants. Finally, I want to give you an update on my earlier leaf propagation experiments from previous videos. The pups from my first successful leaf propagation attempt have grown much bigger. And remember the so-called failed leaf I showed you, the one I thought had rotted inside the bottle, but eventually surprised me by producing a pup after all? Interestingly, the pup grew from the back of the leaf. Just a week after placing it in the soil, here it is now. The pup has grown bigger. All of these experiments were actually done at the same time. The reason I shared them in separate videos is that the direct-to-soil method took significantly longer to show visible results. I hope this video helps you understand the process better and gives you confidence to try it yourself. With patience, the right cut, and consistent soil moisture, you can succeed in propagating aloe vera leaves. This is Danny. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.